Hello everybody, Ben here, and today we are doing another Chaos Draft. This time we're doing some Supreme Chaos Draft. Just as a reminder, Supreme Drafts are done as a single person. You're not playing with other players, and you get to draft 2 cards per pack. Chaos Draft is one of my favorite formats. I'm excited to see how this goes as a Supreme Draft, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so it looks like our first pack is Dragon's Maze. Let's just take a quick look at what packs are going to be exposed to this draft. So we got Maze, Thornvale Drain, War of the Spark, new Phyrexia, Darksteel, Zendikar Rising, Theros, Dark Ascension, Born of the Gods, what is that, Eventide? Morning Tide. Okay, so we got a pretty wide swath of things going on here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So Valraz, the Scar Stripe. So it's a 2/2 for 3, 1 Golgari. Each creature in your graveyard has Scavenge. The Scavenge cost is equal to its mana cost. You can sack a creature to generate it. This lets you get a lot of value out of your dead creatures. Armed and Dangerous is a sorcery speed double strike effect, as well as like a lure effect. You can actually uses the fuse mechanic, which will let you cast both halves if you have the mana for it. Dragon's Maze is a little bit of an awkward pack to start off with, just because it has all that multicolor going on. We're going to be following up immediately with a Thornvale Drain, so it's hard to say. That's a very singular color set. I think what I want to do here, I'm going to probably take the most powerful card, which is the Valraz. And this Guildgate for potential fixing. These Clue Stones are not very good. Pilfer Plans is okay as a draw 2 spell, but there are a lot of those throughout the history of Magic. I don't need to get one that's 2 colors. And yeah, I think let's go ahead and start with that, see where we go from here. Alright, so here we have Eldraine. I like Piper of the Swarm. Gives all your rats menace, and you can create rats each turn by spending 2 mana. And then if you have 3 rats, you can sacrifice them to gain control of any creature. It's a bit mana intensive, but being able to pump out a bunch of 1/1s is pretty nice. Once in future, that's if you can get a lot of green mana, you can return 2 cards to your hand. Otherwise, you put one in your hand, one in on top of your library. What else we got? Lost Legion's okay 2/3 for 3 that lets you scry. I like Outmuscle. It's basically just a better Hunt the Weak. You put a counter on a creature you control, then it fights another creature, and if you can spend Adamant, which is 3 green mana, you give that creature indestructible for a turn. I like that as a solid piece of removal. We've already started off with green-black. Sir Alan, the Lion's Claw is a big old 4/4 for a striker for 5. But I think the power level of these 2 cards is high enough that I'd like to go ahead and take those and see if we can maybe go down a Golgari strategy here. Oh, okay. So here we open War of the Spark. We get some pretty big bombs. So these God Eternals from War of the Spark are just pretty stupid. So this one's a 4/5 flyer for 4, so that's an amazing rate just to begin with. Whenever you draw your first card each turn, you can reveal it. If it's a sorcery or instant, you can copy it and spend 2 less to copy it. And then if it dies or goes to exile, you can put it back on top of your library. I think that's a slam dunk. Chandra as a Planeswalker is also nice. This one's okay. Basically, whenever she takes damage, you can do that much damage to... Or actually, whenever she removes loyalty, you can do that much damage to an opponent or a Planeswalker. I'm not too worried about hitting Planeswalkers since, I mean, there may be 1 or 2 out there, but they're still pretty rare. Otherwise, you're just kind of getting a little bit of card advantage each turn by exiling the top card of your library. I don't really want to go into a double red, but going into blue might be the way to go here. I like Callous Dismissal. It just returns a permanent to its owner's hand, and then you can amass 1. I like Bloom Hulk. It's just a big old 4/4 for 4, but also proliferates, which could give us some options depending on what else we draft throughout the set. But if I want to make a hard turn into blue, I might go ahead and get Kefnet and the Callous Dismissal. Let's see, where are we going to end up? Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can push into blue. Okay, so here we have a Sholdred, also a very strong card. It is expensive, but it pretty much is a game ender if your opponent can't deal with it. 6/6 Swamp Walk. During your upkeep, you put a creature from your graveyard onto the battlefield, and then during their upkeep, they have to sacrifice a creature. That's a slam dunk. I'm not passing that. Other options here, we've got a Guess Verdict. Target player or sacrifices a creature and loses a life. Got an Impaler Shriek. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can sacrifice it and draw 3 cards. It's also a 3/1 flyer. Death's Head Cobra. If we go back towards green, we can get give it reach or give it Death Touch for a couple mana. But we might be moving more towards like a black-blue strategy now. So I think I'm definitely taking Sholdred. Because whether we go into green black or blue black, it's going to be great in both options. The Brutalizer Exarch, you can search your library for a creature card, reveal it, and put it on top of your library. Or you can put a non-creature permanent on the bottom of his owner's library. It's okay, but it's very expensive. Shrine of Luminous Power is the black, I believe this was the black shrine. Makes player discard a card for each counter on it. Not that exciting. I like the Talisman for ramping and just incidental life gain. You could do a Vapor Snag, but we already have a Callous Dismissal if we go for blue. I might just take this Pristine Talisman and see what the next pack gives us so we can decide whether we're going to go for green or for blue as our secondary color. Alright, so here we are in Dark Steel. So the power level goes way down in these older sets. We've got a Fangren Firstborn. It's a 4/2 for a very intensive 1 and 3 green. But whenever it attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of your attacking creatures. Grimclaw Bats. I like this card. It's a 1/1 flyer for 2. But you can spend a black and pay a life to give it +1/+1 until end of turn. It makes it very hard for your opponent to block it. And it is a good mana sink later in the game as a way of pushing through a bit of damage. Since we know we're going to be in black, or are pretty confident we're going to be in black, I think that is going to be my first pick from this pack. We can get a Darksteel Ingot if we think we want to possibly go into 3 colors, depending on how well our fixing goes the rest of the draft. There's a Sure Strike Trident. It's 2 mana, 4 to equip. It gives the creature first strike, and then you can tap and remove the Trident to deal the creature's power and damage to a target player or planeswalker. Not sure so much about that. Wirefly Hive, you flip a coin. If you win, you get a 2/2 insect creature with flying. But if you lose the flip, you destroy all your wireflies. So, don't think we really want to go there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the fixing here. This is just a really, really weak pack. I wasn't really expecting to get much out of Darksteel, so I'll just be happy with these 2 cards. All right, so here we are moving into Zendikar Rising. So here we got a Deadly Alliance. It's our first real true removal spell. There's also a Shadow's Verdict, which lets you exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less, and all the ones in the graveyard. It's okay. It's an expensive board wipe, and it only hits 3 cost creatures or 3 or lower creatures. So I'm not super excited about that. We've got a Field Research. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of these spend 3 mana, draw 2 cards, but this one will let you get 3 cards if you can kick it. If we're gonna like sort of lean on Kefnet, that becomes especially strong. What else? Malkia Rebirth is great as a modal double face card. You can return a creature or just play it as a land if you need it. But I think I might want to start moving towards like a black-blue strategy and go with the Field Research and the Deadly Alliance here. Okay, so here we are in Theros, Beyond Death. So here, not a whole lot exciting. I think the Venomous Hierophant is a good choice because it allows us to fill our graveyard for the Sholdred. Kind of waffling between green and blue here at this point. Rise to Glory. If we wanted to go into white, we can return an aura and a creature to the battlefield, but I don't really know if that's where we want to be. None of these blue cards are terribly exciting, so I may just take this Omen of the Hunt to leave us open to going into green, or possibly going down that route of a 3-color deck. But we'll see. I don't think I'm losing out too much on this Sea Guard and this Towering Wave Mystic. So let's go ahead and go there. Okay, so here we are in what looks like Dark Ascension. Another kind of weaker pack for what we're looking to do. We've got to feed the pack. At the beginning of your end step, you can sacrifice a non-token creature, and then you create a number of wolves, 2/2 wolves equal to that creature's toughness. Could be interesting, but it does require a bit of an investment. It's kind of funny with Sheoldred. You can keep bringing back and sacking the same creature. So that could be interesting. We can get another divination effect to go with our field research. Avacyn's Collar's okay if we get a number of humans, though we're not seeing too much of that. There's a Shriekgeist to let's 1/1 for 2 with flying, and when you deal combat damage to the player, they mill 2. Though milling can be a bit of a liability if you're doing it to your opponent, because that just gives them access to more cards in their own graveyard. There's no good black card here. Spiteful Shadows is not that interesting. It's just a really bad aura that the creature dealing damage deals its that damage to its controller too, or whenever it's dealt damage rather. So I don't know. I might just take the divination and the feed the pack to see, if we can get something interesting going on with that. The other option would be the Kessid Recluse if we want to move more into the green again. But I'm interested in seeing what we can do with divination and feed the pack. All right, so here we are in Born of the Gods. Another kind of weaker pack. We've got a Ashiok's Adept, so whenever you cast a, it's got Heroics. Whenever you cast a spell, it targets it. Each opponent discards a card. It's okay. We have a Sphinx's Disciple. So that's a 2/2 with flying for 5, but whenever it becomes untapped, you get to draw a card off of it. That could be interesting. If we have a way, find a way to like tap it outside of combat, even though it is a flyer, so we can get through for some damage up high. But if we do have a way to untap it out or to tap it outside of combat, we can get some extra card draw that way. Though we have a couple of card draw spells to begin with. The Forsaken Drifters might go well with the Sheoldred, especially if we can get some more recursion from our graveyard to the battlefield. We got a couple of these creatures that are going to let us mill to our graveyard. So if we can pick up a couple of Animate Dead type effects or Raise the Dead kind of effects, then we can get closer to Sheoldred, get it out onto the battlefield. We're starting to get a little bit of a synergy going here with the green and the black with sort of a graveyard theme. It's kind of sad to lose out on Kefnet if we can't support the blue. But I'd be happy with kind of this mill theme going on. That said, I think I'm still going to keep my options open and take the... Well, there's also Astral Cornucopia. We could take that. You can put as much mana into it as you want. For every 3 mana you spend, you get a charge counter, and you can tap that for 1 mana of any color. It could be a replacement to our Darksteel Ingot. So yeah, let's take that. I don't think the Sphinx's Disciple is good enough. Ashiok the Extinguisher. I love this card. So it's a 4/4 for 4. Already good rate. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you choose a target creature that player controls and they have to sacrifice it. So it gets around any sort of regeneration or indestructible effect. So either they block it, and hopefully it becomes a trade, or you get to choose whatever creature you want to kill. We've also got a Banishing Knack and a Dream Thief. The Dream Thief, if you played another blue spell this turn, you get to draw a card. Sturdy Hatchling's kind of cool. It's either green or blue, so it's 3 and a Simic mana. It's a 6/6, but it comes in with 4 -1/-1 counters. And then whenever you cast a green or a blue spell, you get to remove a counter. And then you can spend a Simic mana to give it Shroud till end of turn. I'm in for that. At least it's open to going either blue or green. And it's strong either way. And it's actually kind of interesting with the Varals, because if it's in our graveyard, it counts as a 6/6, not as a 2/2. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. Making it hard. Okay, so here we're in Rivals of Ixalan. Hada's Climb is just insane. So at the beginning of your combat, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 more +1/+1 counters, you get to transform it. Then it becomes a land that taps for any color of mana. You can spend a colorless, a green, and a blue to give a creature flying until end of turn, and +X/+X, where X is that creature's power. It's a little slower, but it is pretty strong. I'm still kind of leaning more towards going into like a green-black than to go into green-blue-black. So I might just take this Impale and maybe this Swift Warden. 3/3 flash for 3 is just a strong rate. That gives a creature or a merfolk you control hexproofed on the turn. I don't know if we're really going to see any more merfolk outside of Ixalan. The other option would be like the Jungleborn Pioneer. It's just a 2/2 body that produces another 1/1. Trying to think if we have anything that's really going to help us abuse that. Not too much. So I think I'd rather have the flash creature as sort of like a surprise and take this Impale as a solid removal spell. Okay, so here we have a Morning Tide pack. So I think the Blight Soil Druid is a pretty good option here. Just a 1/2 for 2, but it does allow you to ramp by spending a life and adding a green. I'd like that for sure. So their moves, if we were going to go lean back into blue, is okay. It's a 3/3, and when it leaves the battlefield, you choose an opponent that you draw cards equal to the difference in your hand size. It's okay. Game Trail Changeling is a nice 5 mana 4/4 with trample, and it's every creature type, so it kind of has a little bit of synergy with the Deadly Alliance, but not that much. Let's go ahead and move this to our sideboard. I'm going to go ahead and sort this by converted mana cost, see what our curve is looking like. We got a lot of 4-drops, so we need to kind of steer out of that. Let's see if we can... Still going to put these blue cards to the side just in case we want to go down that route. Going to go ahead and take this 2-drop for sure. And we can either take the Game Trail Changeling, or really not much else. What does this Reigns do? So it enchants a creature, gives a +2/+2. Then when the creature dies, you can return it to the battlefield, enchanting a creature of the same type. I don't really think so. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get this Trampler. It's fine. Alright, so here we are in Mirrodin and Besieged. Nothing too exciting here. We can take this Viridian Corruptor as just a way to have sort of artifact interaction. The 2/2 with we're not going to really kill anybody with the infect damage, but it does leave the counters behind if you do block something with it. So it's an option. Inkmoth Nexus, I don't know if I really want this. It's just a, I mean, it is a 1/1 flyer with infect. It does get through for a little bit. It could be an alternate win condition. We're not going to see any more infect for the rest of the draft, given what we're going to open. We've also got a Flare Husk. Just a living weapon, creates a 0/0 germ when it comes into play, and it gives it +1/+1. We are hurting. We do need a little bit more early drops for this draft, so I think I might go ahead and take the 2 of these. Flenser Might is okay, so it's a 1/1 lifelink. In fact, not that exciting. Blue cards are not that exciting as well, so I think I'll just take these 2. And here we are in Plane Shift. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we're not... This is a ugly pack. Okay. So Planeswalker Scorn can be interesting. So target opponent reveals a card at random from their hand. Target creature gets -X until on a turn where X is the revealed card's converted mana cost. So in a way, it's repeated removal, but it relies on your opponent having something in their hand of some high mana cost to actually kill things with it. But there's not a lot in this pack. We could think about splashing blue for the Stormscape Battle Mage, because it's a 2/2 for 2 and a blue. Has kicker white and or 2 and a black. If you spend white, you get 3 life. If you spend black, you get to destroy a non-black creature. So it is removal. We do have a couple of removal spells. We're not hurting for removal. There's a Phyrexian Bloodstock. It's a 3/3. When it dies, it destroys a white creature. What does Falling Timber do? Prevent all combat damage target creature would deal this turn. If the spell is kicked, prevent all combat damage another target creature would deal. So it's a weird sort of, I don't know, just like a pseudo fog effect for a turn. It does, your creatures will still deal damage. I don't know, I'll try this Planeswalker Scorn. If we're hurting for playables, it might be interesting. Amphibious Kavu, if it blocks or is blocked by a blue or black creature, but otherwise it's a 2/2 for 3. I don't know if I really want that. There's always a chance we do go splash blue, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Stormscape. So here we are in one of our last 4 packs. This is our Ikoria pack. I like the Dirge Bat. Flying Flash, whenever the creature mutates, you destroy a creature. We could get double mutators going if we want with the Glowstone Recluse and Dirge Bat. A 2/3 reach for 3 is just fine on its own. Alternatively, we could look at grabbing the Easy Prey instead. But I like the 3/3 Flash Flyer. Put on something, kill a creature. We could convert a mana cost 2 or less, not power 2. I'm not a big fan of Easy Prey. I think I'll just take the Glowstone Recluse as an early reach drop and the Dirge Bat out of this pack. Okay, so here we are in Journey to Nyx. Okay, so we got Dictative Karametra. It's basically a mana flare that you with flash. Here's a Font of Return. We did talk earlier about trying to get creatures from our graveyard with all the mill. This gets you 3 creatures back, so I think I might go ahead and take that. We've got a Blood Crazed Hoplite. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. And whenever you put a counter on it, you can remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature opponent controls. That's okay. What's the Golden Hydox do? Whenever Golden Hydox or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature must be blocked this turn. Don't know about that. We have plenty of high end. I might just go ahead and grab this Hoplite as a cheap drop, along with the Font of Fortunes, and go from there. Okay, so now we are in what looks like Conflux. So I don't think we really got there on the blue. What does Fleshformer do? Okay, so you can spend every color of mana to give it +2/+2 and fear until end of turn and give another creature -2/2. Activate it only during your turn. Not really big on that. This is kind of a whiff for us pack-wise. You can grab the Rotting Rat. Makes each player discard a card. It's another rat for our Piper of the Swarm. Otherwise, there's just not much that's very exciting in this pack. Maybe the Bone Saw, maybe the Banefire we can splash. If we need some way of just pushing through damage. But otherwise, none of these cards are really that interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Banefire and the rats. And here we are with our final pack, landing on Cold Snap. So Karvikin Rot. I do like this card. So you destroy a creature with power 2 or less for 3 mana. Not too bad. And it has Recover. So what Recover does is whenever a creature you control dies, you get to spend that mana and return the spell to your hand. However, if you don't do it at that point in time, then the Rot goes away forever. It gets exiled. There's also a Frostweb Spider. This gives us some more flying protection. It's just a 1/3 with reach, but whenever it blocks, you put a +1/+1 counter on it at the end of combat. If it blocks a creature with flying, sorry. There's also a Gutless Ghoul. Lets us sacrifice a creature, gain 2 life, but otherwise it's just kind of an unexciting 2/2. Panglacial Worm. It's a big old 9/5 for 7 with trample. It has this text that says while you're searching your library, you may cast it from your library. I don't think, I guess Omen of the Hunt would be searching our library, but I don't really think that's something we want to be going for. So I think I might just grab this Rot and the Spider just to fill out the bottom of our curve and go ahead and submit. So let's go ahead and move out the blue. I don't think we really got there with the blue. put the Banefire to the side. We've got 3 of these ramp effects. I'm going to put them in the sideboard for now. I don't know how important they are. Let's go and group our creatures separately. Not a big fan of the Rotting Rats since both players have to discard when it comes into play. And otherwise, this is kind of an unexciting 1/1 with Unearth. Planeswalker's Scorn is cute, but I don't know if it's where we want to be. Feed the Pack doesn't really do anything on its own. It does rely on other cards to go with it. So I think we're doing good on removal. Let me go and increase the size here so we can see better. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells plus Sheoldred and our Ashling and our Dirge Bat. I think Sturdy Hatchling I'll still go ahead and play. I mean, this could just be the deck. I don't know how much we need these ramping cards. The other option would be to take out this Blood Crazed Hoplite. We don't really have anything to target our own creatures, so it's really just kind of an unexciting 2/1. It doesn't have any relevant creature types for the Deadly Alliance. So what we could do is go ahead and maybe put in this Pristine Talisman as just sort of incidental life gain as well as ramp. The other option would be to put in the Cornucopia for fixing. We do have a lot of double color mana requirements, but I don't really need to go from 3 mana to 5 mana. So it is a little awkward. If we're up against a pretty slow deck, we could put in the Planeswalker Scorn if they get something really expensive stuck in their hand. It's kind of cute with the Calcis Missile, but I don't think we're going to get there with that. You could also just put the Corruptor in the sideboard to start. And bring it in if we see any artifacts we need to deal with, since we already have a couple artifacts. It's not a May ability, so you got to be careful with that. We can consider putting in some more ramp effects. You know, this is Chaos Draft. I kind of want to have a little bit of fun here. I might go ahead and put in this. No, I don't think I'm going to put in the Scorn. I was thinking of putting in the Scorn just for kicks. Just to see how it performs. But it's going to be hard to keep cards in their hand. There's a chance it just does nothing. It's a 3 mana do nothing. Other option would be to grab the Feed the Pack. But a bunch of 2/2. I don't know what we're doing with a bunch of 2/2s. Like, I just don't think that's worth it. So maybe we'll put in this Astral Cornucopia as some more ramp and fixing, just to make sure we can get all of our double colors. Let's go and add basic land, see what it suggests. We don't need blue. I guess we are much heavier on black than we are on green. And we need the black earlier than we need the green. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that breakdown of 10-7. And go ahead and save this, and I will see you guys for round 1. All right, here we are for round 1. Looks like we're going to be on the draw. This hand, huh? If we get 1 swamp, we're in good shape. 2 swamps are in great shape. We have way more swamps in the deck than we do have other spells or other lands, so they kept it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and risk it and go ahead and keep this hand. If we draw Swamp, we have turn 2 Font, turn 3 Verals. Okay, well at least we still have a turn 3 play with the Swift Warden. Which we'll probably play first anyway, just because it has Flash. Alright. Starting to regret keeping this hand, but one swamp and we'll be in good shape. Okay, so map the waste. Sure. Okay, looks like we're playing against another black-green player. Okay, so plays are still going to be a little bit limited. Really, all we can do is the Swift Warden. If they do attack with the Druid, I will go ahead and just block the Swift Warden. If they have some sort of trick, I'd rather they use it earlier than later. Okay, so Gnarlid Pax, so that's going to come in as a 3/3. That's fine. Oh. Okay, misclicked there. Let's see what we got. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and put this out. Okay, so we got our Swift Warden down. So my keys have changed, hotkeys changed a little bit in the last patch. I haven't reset them, so that's well, we had that little snafu there. Now if they attack, I'm not gonna block. I want to save the creature for the out muscle. Sure. And Evolver, so they paid a black, so it comes in with a 1/1 counter, and they can pay 3 life to regenerate it. That's pretty strong. Alright, so draw Pristine Talisman. Means next turn we'll be able to outmuscle or play our Sturdy Hatchling. We do have Adamant for outmuscle, so we can get our counter and make it indestructible. So here I'm just going to take the 7. We can gain our life now. And we'll see what they play. All right, when I recast a historic spell, pay 1, and then you can return it to your hand. Okay, so we'll go ahead and kill that with the outmuscle. Okay, so there's our swamp finally. I think because we are behind, we're going to want to do this now. Now we have a blocker for their 3/3. Of course, all I need is like an artifact or something to bring it back. If we can draw another swamp, we'll probably get Ashling down. Maybe we can get it through and kill off the Anavolver. Especially if they're aggressive and keep attacking with it. Okay, so we'll just take the 4 here. Okay, so Death Touch, multi-color creatures have Death Touch, okay. Okay, so here, we can't get the Ashling down. We could destroy the Death Toucher. We could put down Virals, but I don't think that really helps us. I think I'm just going to go ahead and kill this now. Well, they can't respond. See how long we can hold off this Anavolver. All right, so now they got their second black source. I feel like if they've had removal, they would have killed the Swift Warden by now. I'm gonna have to block. So put me down to 3. Okay, so Fatal Push, got it. So next turn, if we draw another land, we could put down Virals and then use the Scavenge to make it into a 5/5. But if they play another creature here, I don't think we're going to be able to survive. Okay, so they're getting back their Death Toucher. Okay. Well, let's see what we get here. Okay, so we got another Swamp. So I can play Virals and a Blightsoil Druid to survive for a turn. Because we can regenerate Virals. We don't have the mana to pump it. Alternatively, we can put down the Drifter. I mean, we can't kill anything. So yeah, I think that's what we have to do. Let's put down Virals. And we'll put down the Blightsoil. And then we can sacrifice the Blightsoil to regenerate Virals. Which will put us down to 2. With only 1 blocker, it's going to be hard to come back from this, but we'll see. So I've got 1 card left in hand. That's a lot of mana. So discard or sacrifice 6 times. Okay, I don't think even if we did, yeah, we just lose here. So I'll go ahead and concede before they see cards from my hand. Okay, so that was a risky keep and we got punished for it. What can we put in here to counteract some of what they've been doing? I didn't see any artifacts to worry about. Consider putting in the Darksteel Ingot instead of the Pristine Talisman, but I still like the life gain. It doesn't really leave us with much other choice or things to do, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and submit it as is. And play first, see if we can get a little bit better mana this time. Okay, so here we have 2 lands, a Grimclaw Bat, and a Piper of the Swarm, so I think I'll go ahead and keep that along with the Flare Husk. So get our 1/1 down. Torment of Hailfire is going to be tough if the game goes too long. There may have been some merit to put in the Rotting Rats as a way to kind of like snipe their last card, but it's kind of hard to say. Crypt Breaker, nice. Okay, so they can spend 2 and discard a card to create a 2/2 black zombie, or they can tap 3 zombies, 3 untap zombies to draw a card and lose a life. Okay, so we drew our Krovikin Rot, which we will definitely use on this if we get the chance. Let's go ahead and start by attacking. So I'm going to play the Grimclaw Bats here, just to be able to get in the air. Because I don't think we're going to activate the Piper of the Swarm next turn anyway. If we were to get it down, we want to use the Krovikin Rot. Oh, interesting. So if they have some sort of trick here, I think I want to trade. Why would they make that attack? Well, it's Chaos Draft, so it's hard to say. Maybe they have some sort of way of getting it back from the graveyard. I'll have them show me. Okay, +2, +1, regenerate it. Okay, that's fine. That helps ensure the Krovikin Rot can get it next turn if we can draw land. Wild Cantor, okay. Which we do not, but so be it. They're also stuck on 2, it looks like. Or I guess not. They might not be stuck on 2. So I'm just going to hold back with the Germ in case they do another attack like they did a second ago. So we have the removal, we just need to draw the land before this gets out of hand. The Crypt Breaker, that is. Okay, drew it of the Cowl, sure. Fatal Push. Okay. I feel like we're in pretty good shape if we could just draw land, which we still have not been able to do. So it's maybe just one of those matches where we just get mana screwed, can't do much about it. I don't think it was a bad keep. First match for first game, probably, yeah. That was a risky keep, but you know, just need one more land to pull through on this one. But not quite making it. Prey upon. Okay. Interesting. Surprised they don't want to start making zombies. Must have a couple good cards in their hand that they want to keep. I mean, we're only taking 3 a turn, so we have some time. Well, we got all of our removal in hand and none of the mana to play it. Yeah, that's disappointing. So we can't draw a land here, we're going to be in trouble. We may even want to use the Rot on the Druid, since they've been holding several cards in hand. Yep. Sometimes you just lose to the variance. Magus with the coffer is okay. It's a bit of a beater. Is that one, a human wizard? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there's our swamp, a few turns too late. So I don't know if here what we want to do is just get the Pristine Talisman down to kill, to be able to use Impale later, or play the Frostweb Spider. I think I might just put down the Talisman and try and get our mana going. We're going to need a lot of help to beat this at this point. I don't think we can win this match, but we can always try. Yeah, Evolver. Okay. Yep, I think that is enough. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. Alright, that was a disappointing round 1, but I will see you guys for round 2. Alright, here we are for our round 2 of the Supreme Chaos Draft. We won the die roll, so I'm going to go ahead and go first. Man, this deck just can't catch a break with the lands. Going to have to mulligan that for sure. Alright, so here, I think we're definitely keeping it. I might go ahead and ditch the... It's a hard choice here. I think I'm going to get rid of the Swift Warden. Because that leaves us the Viral as an option there. And, well, I don't know, Viral's better right here in this draw. I might actually be better to keep the Swift Warden. I think I'm going to put Viral's on the bottom. Gonna drop out a forest. Pass the turn. Okay, let's put down a swamp this time. We can start playing things on turn 3. Okay, so Porcelain Legionnaire, nice. Okay, so here I'm going to play in the forest, and I'll just keep up the Swift Warden. So one thing we can do here is we play a Swift Warden, hold up mana for the Dirge Bat. And in the following turn, we can use the Dirge Bat to kill something with the Recluse Mutate. Okay, so swinging in for 3. Ghost Warden, nice. Let's get our Swift Warden down. Okay, so we're not going to block here with the Swift Warden, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and just attack. Another option could be to put the Grimclaw Bat down and then use the Glowstone Recluse on it, but I think just getting the Dirge Bat down is fine. They probably won't see the Recluse coming. Like so far they're mono white or they're just stuck on white. Okay, so creatures get +1/+1 in vigilance on the turn, sure. So we're not gonna be able to get them with the Dirge Bat on the Ghost Warden. We're just gonna have to take a bunch of damage here. But then, you know, we'll play the Dirge Bat, mutate onto it with the Glowstone Recluse, kill off their Porcelain Legionnaire. So I guess we're taking 7 here. But next turn we'll deal 8 back to them, assuming they pump with the Ghost Warden. Okay, so they are going to pump it. Let's go ahead and cast our Dirge Bat. Okay, we'll get down a forest and we'll mutate onto the bat here. Path Exile, nice. Okay, that's disappointing, but it is what it is. Still get to keep the 2/3 out of it. We can't attack into the 3/1, so we'll just hold back. I guess our best draw here would be something like Sholdred. Trapped in a tower, okay. Okay, we're taking 3 here. Or 4, rather. Okay, so here we can get down our Piper of the Swarm and a Grimclaw Bat. I think we just have to sit back on defense here. If they attack, I'll double block with the Bat and the Swift Warden. Make them use another trick if they have it. Of course, if they use the path or the Marshalling Cry and tap out for that, then we can just block the Ghost Warden and maybe chump with the Bat. Okay, yep, as predicted. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and block the Ghost Warden and the Legionnaire. So they can, I guess they can go ahead and trade with the Swift Warden. And then we can just shoot out 1/1s for a bit. Depending on what we draw here. Okay, yep. That's predicted. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just put down the forest, and then we'll just have to be on jumping duty with the 1/1s until they do something. I guess there's some merit to just letting it through and going down to 3, but And who knows what kind of tricks they can have. I guess white doesn't usually have tricks bigger than +2/+2. But if they play a flyer, I want to be able to preserve my life total. Just go ahead and make the 1/1 and block. Commanding presence. So first strike whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1. Okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and draw our Sholdred. And I guess we just attack them for 1. This may just prompt a scoop. Just gonna go ahead and attack. Okay, yeah, I don't think they had a way to deal with Shoulder at that point. So they may save their Path to Exile next time. Okay, so they're running a pretty aggressive deck. I might go ahead and put in this Hoplite as just another early blocker. I think the Sturdy Hatchling can come out. I think it's just going to be too slow. I'm just trying to remove the counters. There's some merit to this Corruptor as just a way to get rid of the Porcelain Legionary easily. But it does make our artifacts a little bit more vulnerable. So if I do put that in, I might take out something like the Cornucopia or the Pristine Talisman. The biggest thing is that Porcelain Legionnaire on turn 2 is just really hard for this deck to deal with. Our removal doesn't work until turn 4 at the earliest. So having this as a way to 2 for 1 them is just a nice option. So I think here, I like the life gain from the Talisman against an aggressive deck, so I'm going to have to take out this Cornucopia, and then we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here it's a little bit of a slower hand, but I don't think we can mulligan with this mana distribution. So go ahead and put down a swamp, pass turn. Oh, so they had green as their secondary color. And turn 2 Legionnaire. Yep. So go ahead and get down a forest here. So I think maybe Pristine Talisman comes out next. It really depends on what we draw. Because Virals can't block anyway. And I'd rather get something a little bit bigger, or at least get to our removal to slow this thing down. Especially if they like go all out and put a Commanding Presence on it. So red 2, huh? It looks like they were just really stuck on white last time. Okay, so nothing from them this turn. Gonna put down our Talisman. I'm just gonna gain the life now. Help blunt the Porcelain Legionnaire a little bit. Okay, so Oasis Ritualist, so they can get 1 mana of any color, exert it to get 2 mana for a turn. So we gotta watch out for a big turn here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the Green Chill Changeling down. That way if we draw Forest, we can play both the Corruptor and the Virals. I'm not gonna block if they attack with Legionnaire. I'm not even sure I'm gonna block if they attack with the Ritualist, because that's just suspect. Okay, so they play a plated spider, so it's 4/4 with reach. Not too scared of that at the moment. Though I probably will go ahead and just out-muscle it while they're tapped out. So we don't have the animate support. Or can we, do we want to double spell this turn? Could play Virals in the Frostweb Spider. Let's wait to see if they play something more dangerous. I think I might just go ahead and do that. That way if we draw another land next turn, we can, like I said, do a double spell turn. Concerned they're going to have a worse threat that we have to deal with. I may even just straight up trade. Okay, so Chef at Dunes lets them sacrifice it basically to give all their creatures +1/+1, but they can only do it as a sorcery. It's like that's their 2 cards from our devastation. All right, oh, triple green here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Looks like they changed their mind. Okay, so they're gonna try and just, I don't know if they notice that this regenerates. So we'll just go ahead and sacrifice. So I think we just go ahead and take the 4 here. If they had like some sort of combat trick, they would have attacked with the Legionnaire too, I think. But while we can, I think I'm going to go ahead and cast the out muscle to kill this now. 1, 2, 3. Done. So I could just give something +1/+1. Don't want to put all my eggs on the Game Trail Changeling. Yeah. And I think I'll put it on the Virals. Give it the extra counter. Then no reason to attack because the first strike would just kill the Game Trail Changeling. And next turn we have the Viridian Corruptor and the Impale to work with. So we can just kill off the Legionnaire. Okay, so 2 green and colorless. Oh, Ewit, okay. Let's see what they decide to get back. Probably the Spider or the Magma Burst. What are they targeting? Okay, so let's get the Magma Burst. Okay, so this comes into play tapped, correct? Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the Corruptor now. Kill off their Legionnaire. And then we can attack with both creatures and start getting aggressive. Alright, what do we have here? Target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. Okay. Sure, I'll sack the Virals. It's not a big deal. Still deal 5 to them. Then all they have is the Magma Burst and some other unknowns, a couple of other unknowns. Yep, that's fine. Not worried about my Infector. If they want to start trying to be aggressive, they can. Yeah, they can't really block it, so I don't blame them for attacking. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing for another 5. Just gonna put down our Flare Husk. We'll get down our Omen of the Hunt. And then next turn we can, or at the end of their turn, we can sack it to Scry. Get our Forest. Okay, so they're going to stick it in a tower. Fine, that's fine. I guess we go ahead and block the Eternal Witness. I mean, they probably have a way of bringing it back to play, but I can't really afford to take 4 here. Okay, Ghost Warden, right? I'm gonna go ahead and sack this. Let's go ahead and keep both of these. I'll put the Alliance and the Sholdred. And probably not going to be happy to see this again, but you know, it's what I opened. It's possible that they saved their Path to Exile just for this. If so, then we're have to draw into answers. We can always Impale and Deadly Alliance things if we need to. And looks like they've had enough. All right, so that was our round 2. I will see you guys for round 3. All right, here we are for our round 3. We are looking to be on the draw since we got lots of die roll, and I think this hand is perfectly fine. We've got turn 2 Blightsoil Druid, turn 3 Swift Warden, or Glowstone Recluse. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with the Swamp. Okay, Skursdag Flare, spend 4, tap it, sack a human, destroy target creature. Okay, so it can sack itself, or if they have other humans, they can start picking things off. It's going to get the Blightsoil Druid down. Does make it sketchy to mutate with the Recluse, so if they want to trade, huh? Yeah, I don't need the mana, so if they want to kill it, they can kill it. Okay, lose hope. Okay, so here we'll just hold up the Swift Warden to block in case they attack again. Hopefully it looks like they're probably searching for some land. See if we can get them with the Swift Warden, or if they have removal in response. Destroy target non-artifact creature, okay. Well, with the Font of Return, we can just get all this stuff back anyway, so not too worried about taking 1 damage here. Oh, okay. So I guess we'll see what they take, probably the font to return. Yeah, that was definitely the correct play there. All right, so here I think we just drop down our Recluse. Guess we'll keep up on a black, sure. Okay, draw two. Oh, looks like they mill a couple mountains, so I guess red's their second color. All right, so here I think what we'll do is we'll just Omen of the Hunt and attack. Okay, so Plague Crafter, sure. Oh, interesting. So they wanted to keep the flare. I guess they must have a lot of humans. Okay, so here we do Frostweb Spider. I missed the trigger again, so I'll just do the Omen this turn. Okay, so I'll pop out the Omen in response. And I'm just going to go ahead and get another black source here for the Grim Claw Bats. Sure. Okay, so here, if I spend 6 on the Cornucopia, I won't have enough to do the Deadly Alliance. There's really no reason for me to overcharge this, so I'm just going to spend the 3 on it. Then depending on what they do, I have the Deadly Alliance as backup. But for now, the Frostweb Spider can block the Drake. May have to kill the Flayer. But it really depends on what they do here. Okay, so Impale. Got it. So it looks like it's pretty much mono removal deck. I'm just going to go ahead and scry now. So we got a Dirge Bat and a Pristine Talisman. I don't think we need the Talisman right now, but the Dirge Bat, we can get them. Or at least try to. Okay. I think I'm just going to take the 2 here and kill their Flayer before the end of turn, depending on what they play out. Tectonic Giant. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to hit that. Because that will just do too much damage to us in the long run. Okay, well, it doesn't do anything for us to play the Dirge Bat out. May as well force them to... Oh, interesting. Goblin Shaman. Or Weirding Shaman. So sacrifice a Goblin, create 2 1/1s. Okay, interesting. I'm just going to hold on to the Bat for now. Surprised they didn't attack with the Drake. Alright, well, let's force them to sack their Flare. Unless they have some more removal, which wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, so it looks like they'll kill the bat in response. Take another 4. I think the only hope we have here at this point is probably something like Sholdred. Yeah, get another swamp. I'm probably dead next turn. Even with Sholdred, they'd just be able to kill us with the Drake. But it doesn't hurt to see more of what they're doing. So Spark Reaper. Yeah, so they got tons of removal. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and concede here, and we'll move on to the next game. So with all of that removal, it might be worth putting in this Planeswalker Scorn. Because if we end up without any removal, or without any creatures on the board, they won't have any targets for their removal. It gives us a chance to kill off their little creatures. Sturdy Hatchling might be nice since we can give it Shroud. Could probably take out the Cornucopia or the Changeling. Also possibly the Flare Husk, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I might take out the Cornucopia here. Let's see how this goes. Go ahead and play first. And here we are with another hand that just needs one swamp to work. I'm just going to keep it. I don't want to go down too many cards against this opponent. Just have to hope that we draw into the swamp. We have 10 in the deck, so they mulligan to 5. Okay. So that should give us a little bit of breathing room, maybe. All right. Well, we'll get the Pristine Talisman down. Maybe get the Game Trail Changeling down as well. The following turn. Weirding Shaman, sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Talisman down here. I'm just going to gain our life. That way, if they don't have a strong removal spell for the Changeling, we have a way of putting up a big threat against an opponent that is hurting for land drops. Yeah, let's get the Changeling down. They still need 2 more mana to make the Flare work. Then we can just rot it on our turn if we need to. Okay, no attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this now. Actually, let's go and attack, see if they have any tricks. Okay, so nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this and drop out the Planeswalker Scorn. Okay, so we'll play a swamp. Choose an opponent, choose a creature. 4. So lose hope, okay. So looks like they're just trying to scry to get some land going. Okay, Keldon Vandals. 4/1 with Echo. Destroys an artifact when it comes into play. Okay, good to know. I'm just going to drop out this font to return. Okay, Plague Crafter, got it. I guess there is merit to holding on to the font in order to be able to return Arkovic and Rot, but that's a mistake on my part. At the end of their turn, I'll just put out the Dirge Bat as a 3/3 attacker, depending on what they do here. Okay, so Vandals, go ahead and get the mana. I'll just go ahead and cast this. I can use the Planeswalker Scorn on the Vandals on my turn if I don't draw something else I want to use. Opponent. 2, 3, 4. So Rakdos Drake, okay. I'm just going to drop the Swamp in case they have discard. I want to make sure we have enough to play Shouldered if we draw her. Non-artifact creature, okay. Okay, so here we'll just go ahead and attack. And probably at the end of their turn, I'll go ahead and Font of Return. So let's see, 4. Let's go and put out the Forest. That way, if I want a Font of Return, I can just drop out the Dirge Bat at the end of their turn. Okay, Spark Reaper, sure. So let's just get back these two. And we'll just put out the bat. And just start beating him down with it. Let's keep on revealing. Rakdos Streak again, okay. Let's see. So I will go ahead and attack with, oh, the bat. Oh, okay, they conceded. All right, so back to sideboarding. Let's see, I don't think there's really anything else we want to put in. I didn't see any artifacts we care about. Hoplite doesn't really do anything. It's too fragile, especially with the Lost Hopes running around. Yeah, let's just keep it as is. Scorn did a lot of work that game. And here we go. So this is pretty good mana. Go ahead and keep it. Get out the Blightsoil Druid, then follow it up with the Drifters or the Hierophant. They did have a lot of removal in their deck, so I don't know if this Blightsoil Druid's going to survive. Okay, here comes the Weirding Shaman, sure. Alright, let's get the Blightsoil Druid down. Then next turn we'll play the Hierophant. Again, assuming it survives. Okay, so let's go ahead and take 2 here. Okay, go ahead and drop down this Hierophant. see what we mill. We milled the Krovitkin Rot and our Virals. So if they kill something right now, we're going to lose the Rot again. Okay, I'm not going to fall for the lose hope right here. Okay, so just dropping out of Vandals, it's fine. So I'm going to put down another Swamp. I'm going to hold back with the Hierophant and just put down our Grimclaw Bats. Sure. So they'll go ahead and attack here probably. No, no, that's fine too. All right, so we'll play a Forest and just go ahead and put down the Scorn. I'm just going to hold back for now. If they go to kill something, then I'll just I don't really want to just peck in for one with the bats because I anticipate they're going to attack this turn. So I want to have the mana open to return the Rot to my hand, since I did have a lot of dinky creatures that we could kill with it. Okay, so trample at the beginning of your combat, and your turn can discard a card. If you do, it gets +3/+0. Okay. So that's a Fury Blade Vampire. You got it. Yes, I think this will do a lot of work for us, given how much removal this opponent has. Hopefully it'll do work in this game, even though it didn't do much last game. I mean, it did a lot last game, but that's interesting. Why would they discard that? It doesn't give them haste. Okay, so let's block here and block here. I'll force them to use the Lost Hope. Sure. Right now I just want to preserve my life total. I'm not concerned. So I think in the long game we'll be able to beat him out with drawing Sholdred or our Font, or cycling Krovitkin Rot over and over again. So we'll pay our life and do yes to that. Let's see what they play post-combat. Maybe they're just trying to empty their hands so they don't have anything. I mean, I don't have anything to hit with the Scorn. Yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of. The reason they discarded this was to try and empty their hand for the Scorn. Don't know why else they would have done that. Unless they're trying to hit Delirium for some reason. They did open Eldritch Moon, so they might have something with Delirium. Okay. So here I'm just going to go ahead and Scorn and see what happens. So just a swamp, okay. I will go ahead and cast Just Recluse out. Okay, go for the throat, sure. So you know they have a swamp left. Another swamp discard, okay. Well, that empties their hand, so we can use the Kravikin Rot on our turn. Let's go ahead and hit that before they can pump it up. And I'm just going to put out this Drifters and attack for 1. I could have put down the Piper, but I'd rather get more power on the board. Okay, yeah, just keep attacking. I'll get down the Piper. I'm going to hold on to the bats in case they play a creature that we need to kill. So I guess if I just play it out, it does put them on a 2-turn. Yeah, if I had 1 more mana, I guess I could have held back with the Druid. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cast it. I want to try and kill him. Yeah, okay, that's great. Let's attack for 3 in the air. Drop our shoulder out. That should be game unless they draw removal immediately. Yep, that's it. Yeah, shoulder kind of was the MVP of that particular draft, so... Anyway, that was our third and final round. We went 2-1, got kind of mana hosed in the first round, but otherwise I had a lot of fun with that deck. So, yeah, if you liked this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. If you saw different lines I could have done, let me know what I could have done differently, and I'll see you guys for the next draft.